How is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Shift to Unleash. And I kinda managed to, well, quote-unquote fix the issue that I have with the save, but it's a little bit awkward and I don't know how long it's gonna last. But essentially, there is something that is in the game that is like a Dr. Pepper promotion or whatever. Like, you can tell the menu is a little bit weird and shit, but essentially with that Dr. Pepper thing you unlock new events here that I'm not gonna do now, but the secondary effect of doing that is unlocking every other event in the game no matter what. That also includes unlocking a shitty one, even though it shouldn't be unlocked right now. But the point is that for now it works. I don't know for how long it's gonna work, but I'll keep going, of course. And the game even remember my winning Donington with the shitty 3, so whatever happened after that, like, just block things, but it didn't forget anything about the progress. So yeah. Oh, Laguna Seca, nice. Yeah, I picked the Aston Martin that I purchased. So this is the first time that I see Laguna Seca, by the way, so that's cool. Good way to start the stream.
Okay, don't overshoot the opening Andretti hairpin. Watch out for the blind crash and severe drop-off of the corkscrew. Mistakes here will send you off the track.
I mean, here the warning that you have to give me is for the corkscrew exclusively. That's the main and only issue. But I was about to say, the problem is that if for some reason that bug happens again, I don't know, like, I think that this Dr. Pepper thing is supposed to be a one-time only thing, so if it were to happen again, I think I'm screwed. Maybe I'm not, and maybe I'm being melodramatic, it's possible, but I don't know. This is such a weird bug. And I mean, this is not really a solution, it's kind of like a side effect of whatever this Dr. Pepper promotion was supposed to be at the time that this game was active, and for whatever reason having the secondary effect of unlocking every, like, event group in the game, right? So if it were to happen again, I don't think that's gonna work again, unless the unlocks are permanent. I mean, you would expect the unlocks were permanent before, but I don't know. It's all very weird. Ah, shit. Man, the piano cucked me so much. Also, how is it going, Drano? Oh, no way. Hold up, Drano. There is a problem. YouTube is translating your comments automatically. I can't believe that. That's so stupid. Okay, that's a problem. Man, how can you be so shitty, YouTube? I cannot believe that. Fuck. Now I have something else to pay attention to. Like, YouTube is translating your comments in real time. I can't believe that. Like, it's translating them to Spanish, obviously, in case, you know. But yeah. If you're really talking like that, it could be. I don't know. Basically, the morning that you say at the beginning, and I'm assuming you say morning because YouTube translated it as tomorrow in Spanish. Like, well, technically, okay, to be fair, the word for tomorrow and the word for morning in Spanish are the same when it's mañana in both, but that's so fucked up. I only know that you say morning because that's what you usually say, but otherwise I will assume that you were saying that something happens tomorrow. Then you say, I finished my project, so I'll do another one. That's what Spanish Draenor is saying. I don't know what English Draenor is saying, but Spanish Draenor is saying that. That's so messed up. Alright, Why? I hate web developers so much, dude. And I'm a web developer myself. Like, how much unnecessary shit do you have to do? Spanish Draenor will be... Okay, right there it's saying Spanish Draenor will be an amazing detail. I'm not sure what word it's trying to translate there. Detail. What will it be trying to say with detail? Will be an amazing... I don't know what... Ah, fuck, this is a corkscrew. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Thankfully the brakes on this thing are insane, so... If this was the previous game though, I would have died right there. Okay, careful with the piano. Okay, no problem, no problem. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, keep it cool. Wait, why? Did my windshield get stained with yellow? What the fuck is yellow too? Weird.
Great job, my man. Great job.
Little? That's what the last message says, little. Okay, hold up. Before I try to investigate that, let me see if the game doesn't crash, because yesterday after the race the game crashed and it completely destroyed my save. Okay, it didn't crash this time, but hold up. How do I disable this trash? Fuck, dude, it seems like there is no easy way to do this. Man, this is so ass. There is no easy way to disable this shitty ass translation. Fuck, dude. Like, I will have to Google it. Man, why do you make things so hard? YouTube, why are you such a piece of shit? At least by putting the cursor above, I can see what the original... Oh, bit is the word you try to say. And it translated as detail somehow. Well, I'm sorry, Draenor, but I will have to read your messages translated. Cause I don't know how to disable this garbage.
This one's fast. Pay attention
So yeah, sorry.
Turns 3 to 5. Their elevation changes.
Fuck, dude, I'm so pissed off.
Turn 4s, almost lines.
I'm so pissed off by features that nobody fucking asked for. Ah, damn, dude. Why? Well, on the right side, you could speak in Dutch and I will understand you, probably, assuming the translation is good. Like, if the translation is good, you could speak in Dutch and I will understand, probably. Also, by the way, this is Willow Springs, the full version. I think it's the first time in the game that we also get Willow Spring on the regular version, which is cool. I don't know if... Wait, hold on. For fuck's sake. I don't know if your YouTube is configured in Spanish, but maybe you can change it to English and solve it that way. Yes. But the problem is that those are things that I cannot do quickly. Or, yes, maybe I can do quickly, but in order to know where that is, that will take time. Even if it's just a little bit. And I don't want to do those type of things on stream. Like, for example, well, I don't know if you know, but if this game basically did something weird to my save yesterday, and even though it wasn't the perfect solution, the solution was very easy to install, and it only took like 5 minutes after I decided to go for that solution. But the thing is that all the investigating and all the knowing what to do and the risk and what could happen and what could not happen, those are all things that I will not be able to do on stream, and I did it off the stream. And the same applies to this, like maybe changing the language requires more clicks than I expected does, and that will be bad, you know? Ah, fuck me. It's fine, stay on the track, there you go. From the main page of YouTube, click on your channel icon and language of visualization. Okay. Yeah, it's important what you say that it has to be from the main page, because from the control panel it doesn't work. Like, I already pressed my profile picture in the control panel and there are no options for that. Man, that's so fucked up, right? I'm flabbergasted, you know? That's how I am right now. That's insane. YouTube, dude, is incredible. The best thing you can do is nothing. But since your web developers need to justify the fact that they haven't been fired yet, you need to add this stupid ass shit nobody asked for. God damn it, dude. I'm so... I guess I am pissed off, but at the same time it's such a funny thing, right? Like, you know what? There is like a One Piece panel, I think it's One Piece, I don't remember, maybe if it was another manga that say, I'm so angry, the only thing I can do is laugh. That's me right now. Like, it is so stupid and so infuriating that how could I not laugh? It's like... this is some clown shit, you know? Really, it's like YouTube is trying to make me laugh. And it's succeeding, you know? That's also funny what you should say. YouTube translate that as I am also like disoriented. That's the word it used. Well, technically, it used the word desconcertado, which means like, yeah, disoriented. I guess it's more like, I'm not sure what word I will use to translate that, but yeah, that's the thing. Thinking about these things should not happen, you know? Like, this shouldn't be something I should be thinking of. Oh, you put it in Dutch? Really? That's pretty cool. But man. And the worst part is that I feel like once I change the language, I will have to reload the control panel. But I usually don't reload the control panel when I'm streaming, so I don't know if something bad's gonna happen. Not to the stream itself, but like, I hope that the control panel doesn't do anything stupid. Well, I also hope that nothing bad happens on the stream, but... Alright.
Wow, you really showed it out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
I like the feature if it showed the original text and it was optional. Well, that's the thing, it shows the original text, but only if you hover over the comment, not by default, you know? Well, I got the single edition. Okay, let me do this shit, because I cannot read comments in Spanish that were not meant to be in Spanish. So yeah, visualization language, isn't there a default option? Like, that's the issue. Like, you have to select a language, you cannot select any language, like whatever is the original language. There is no option for that. That's crazy. Or at least I don't see it. Maybe I'm blind. Unless maybe there is an option for not translating automatically, but no, not at least on like a, you know, by default. I mean, I'm gonna put English now, but this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna reload the control panel. Hopefully that doesn't fuck the stream up. Did it fuck the stream up? No, it didn't. It's fine. Well, but it's still in Spanish. Fuck. Unless... Try talking again. I want to see maybe it doesn't work for messages that are already written, but something tells me it's not gonna work. Also, what's this, by the way? Silverstone? Oh, day and night, that doesn't sound good. Whatever, on to Silverstone. But yeah, unfortunately, Video. Okay, that one wasn't translated. Nice. It seems it worked. Didn't work for the other ones, but man, that's so fucked up. So I was gonna compare it to something else, but this reminds me that you know that there are some porn sites that translate everything by default, and you have no clue what the original language is unless you disable that shitty option. And here it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna look at a video and I'm not gonna know what the original language is gonna be because it's always gonna be in English. Maybe it's a video by someone that is French and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. It's fine. I mean, I also don't visit those pages for a while now. That's crazy. That's so stupid. Like, that's so unbelievably stupid. Like, there's probably an option if you enter the settings and you try looking very specifically there, but I can't believe this. Like, at this point, I don't know, maybe they do this because of censorship. Like, they just want, in case there's something fucked up, that they try to rephrase it to not say what it actually wants to say. Because I cannot understand. I mean, I understand what the benefit could be in theory, but in practice it's impossible to accurately translate everything. It's just not a possibility. Languages work very differently from each other, and in fact we already saw the best example on the first message that Draynot sent. The first message said morning, and in Spanish, as I mentioned before, the word morning is the same word for tomorrow. But so instead of translating it as morning, it translated as tomorrow. But even if, like, that's the thing. I mean, it's the same word, so it's not like it would have made a difference, but that's the thing. Like, you could translate that as, like in Spanish, you could say the equivalent of, like, good morning. Like, morning basically means good morning, right? It's a common expression in English, but that's impossible to translate to Spanish. Like, you will have to guess, and by context it's possible to do so. Translators, automatic translators, are not good enough for that, not even close, and they probably will never be good enough. So I'm just pissed. I'm sorry, but why? That's the question. Why are you like this, YouTube? For what reason? On the right side, I'm dominating everyone on the game, so that's nice. Because if I was getting my ass kicked, I will be even more salty right now. But the point is, fuck. So actually, what happens if you try saying something in Dutch? Is it gonna show it in English? Probably. But yeah, you could try just to see, you know. Like, if you say something else in Dutch, is it gonna show it in English? Well, I don't see how that will be useful at all here. I mean, the Dutch part, obviously not, because you don't normally speak Dutch on the internet, at least not with me, but no one speaks a different language. Ah, fuck me. It's fine. Like, no one speaks a different language in my chat. Like, everyone speaks English. There used to be, well, okay, Kyle sometimes speaks Spanish, but the point is that like, I will understand that anyways in Spanish, you know? Not like I need a translation. So it's not like it will help me. No one here is speaking Italian or French or Chinese. Like, everyone either speaks English or Spanish, so translation is completely unnecessary. And well, you could say something like, oh, you are not thinking big enough. You could get new fans from all over the world speaking their language, but that's not how it works. That is certainly not the way it works. Speaking Dutch online doesn't feel natural to me. That's what the translation said. And here I don't need to translate over the translator because it obviously translates in English, so I'm just reading verbatim what it says in the chat. But that's what it says, which I'm assuming it is what you say. But yeah. That's pretty crazy. Well, it is what it is. At least we have something interesting to talk about, you know? Like, at least this made the start of the stream more interesting than I was expecting, you know? That's crazy. And I mean, I already seen that when you enter a video, in a lot of videos by default, there is an automatic dubbing over the voice, which is crazy to me that that's even allowed by default. But yeah, there were already signs of shit like that. But the point is that never had that happen to me before. Now, unfortunately, it does happen to me, but in the case it happens to me is because I usually play videos in incognito mode, so basically it uses the default options every single time, and the default options is that every video that has automatic dub will by default be automatically dubbed to the language of your YouTube. And since I have it on Spanish, well, right now I have it on English though, but the thing is there an option to completely disable translations of any kind? I don't know. I feel like ironically that separates the internet further. I don't know, maybe, you know, it's one of those cases that I'm just too old for this shit, you know. And I'm pretty sure that younger generations probably appreciate the fact that they can understand any language without that, because for what I understand, and this is probably propaganda that is not true, like propaganda simply, well, not propaganda, that's not the word, more like simply clickbait. But like, I heard that younger generations are not very good at reading, and that includes subtitles. So that means that it's very possible that automatic dubbing is something that they probably find good. So yeah, I guess it's one of those cases where you are no longer the target audience. It happens. And you know, today I was also thinking about it, a very similar situation about stuff that I think is preposterous and younger generations probably don't because they will grow up with it. You know that there will be a lot of animations, whether it's anime or, you know, cartoons like outside of Japan, that will use AI to cut bullshits, right? Like, it will happen. Whether you like it or not, it will happen. I don't like it, obviously, but the point is that it will happen. And the thing here reminds me of something else.
Feels good to be a winner, doesn't it?
You know that anime started using CG, like basically 3D models, like some years ago, and it kinda became a standard. Like, nowadays, most anime have a big portion of CG in them.
Okay, you gotta focus through maggots and love field. Mash the pedal on hanger straight and don't lose too much speed in snow.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Alright. And I was about to say, and the thing is that CG became something normal. A lot of people, when they see CG stuff in anime, they are like, wow, that looks like shit. But in a lot of cases, it's like, well, whatever, right? It's what happens today. And I feel like that same thing that happens with CG. CG, by the way, stands for computer generated, in case someone didn't know. So basically like 3D models in the middle of an anime, right? But the thing is that will probably happen with AI as well. There will be very clear cases where AI will be used in animation, and at the beginning there will be loud voices saying this fucking sucks, stop using AI, but eventually it will kinda get diluted. Like, those voices are gonna be less and less, and to the point that the younger generations that are used to AI, that, you know, think of it as a fact of life, won't mind, and basically AI in animation will become the new CG, like something that originally was completely rejected, but nowadays it's very normal. And it's kind of depressing, honestly. But then again, you also have to remember that you won't be the target audience forever, and I'm already not, but that's the thing. When AI eventually gets used for that, almost always, I'm pretty sure that the younger ones won't mind. And at that point, it's like, that's it. If they don't mind, then no reason to change it, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong in itself, and it's whatever, there are preferences that are generational, but feels like the quality is just gonna go low. Also, how is it going, Sunshine? Amazon already has been doing AI dubs for anime? That's fucked up. Yeah, I'm doing well, but basically, man, Sunshine, you missed something pretty funny. Like, basically, I started the stream, Draino came to the chat, he sent a message, and I find it to be weird, because there was like a Japanese letter at the beginning, which I now know that it was meant to be an icon, and then the message afterwards was in Spanish. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Draino? Maybe it is one of his antics. No, it's that YouTube now automatically translates all of the comments in my chat to Spanish, because my YouTube is in Spanish. So basically, by default, all the messages were in Spanish, even though Draino was writing them in English, right? And I could not believe it, and I still cannot believe it. It's just that now I fix it and I'm seeing them in English, but is that only true because you're the streamer? I mean, no, hold up. It's something that only I see because my YouTube is in Spanish. He wasn't seeing them in Spanish, but the point is that I was seeing all the messages in chat in Spanish, and I'm assuming that anyone that is not using English as the language is seeing him on their own language. So it's true not because I'm the streamer, but because I have it in Spanish and I see it in Spanish. Again, not anymore because I changed it, but yeah, that's crazy. Also, how is it going, Wasabi? That is asking for trouble? Yeah. But yeah, the thing is that web pages have been doing stupid shit like this for a long time. Basically putting features in that nobody asked for. But yeah. And the problem is that I really didn't disable it. Alright, so Draino is saying, has this been translated for everyone? I'm assuming he's saying that in Dutch. So, can someone confirm what language you're seeing Draino's message in? Because I'm seeing it in English, because that's what I was about to say. Unfortunately, I didn't see a way to disable it. I should simply change the language to English, so that way English messages don't get translated, and the ones that are not in English get translated to English. maybe there is a way to disable it. I'll investigate after the stream, but for now, basically everything will be in English no matter what. Okay, it's in Dutch for you, Wasabi, alright? Well, it's very possible that this is one of the things that maybe takes a while to roll for everyone. Or maybe you might be right that it's only because I'm the streamer. You might have a point there, because obviously the amount of resources that it will consume to translate messages for absolutely everyone are a lot less than the resources that it will take only to translate for the streamer, so you might have a point there. It might only be translated to me.
Absolutely epic drive, man.
You might be
That's how
right.
you get the job done.
And that's especially something that probably happens a lot for big streamers with fans all over the world. So, yeah, you might be right. It's actually something that I'm only seeing myself. So you might be thinking that I'm absolutely crazy and that I have to take my meds. Well, you might not be wrong, but that's unrelated to the translation, you know? The translation is happening, I swear.
Okay, listen up. On Mount Panorama, you need to be smart.
Oh,
This
Mount
is the
Panorama?
portal.
No
The turns are
way.
narrow and a bunch of them wide. Good luck.
Really? The first Mount Panorama race is gonna be at nighttime? That's so fucked up. So Mount Panorama is also in this game, that's crazy. Mount Panorama, well, I mentioned it before, this is a very, very cool track, very hard as well. And if you do it on nighttime, it's even more messed up. Like, Mount Panorama on nighttime is... it's a suicide, basically. So yeah, the problem starts here. There's basically a very narrow place with a lot of fucked up corners with up and downs. It's like a roller coaster. Like right here starts the roller coaster. And yeah, without knowing where to, like what's right in front of you because it's nighttime, it's even worse. But yeah, this is in the Mount Panorama. And there is a very mean chicane later as well. It is a very nice track. If I'm not mistaken, it's an Australian track. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is Australia. In fact, I could tell you more. If I'm not mistaken, this is in Bathurst, which I think it's a city in Australia. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, it is one of the prettiest tracks, I think, in the world. I mean, prettiest maybe not when it comes to the landscape or anything like that, but as a track, right? Again, it's super fucked up as well, but I just think that it's a very pretty track. Here you have a very long ass straight with a very slight corner that at nighttime it's probably gonna fuck me up. Okay, it didn't, but yeah, here you need to rake. You need to rake, yeah, there is a final chicane. And then, don't do that. Yeah, and then you are back to the beginning. Damn, that's crazy, dude. Mount Panorama, like, this game has so many tracks. Like, it's very crazy how much difference there is with the first game in terms of content. It has so much more content. Pretty cool. But yeah, in fact, you know that I think, at least when it comes to, even without counting only real life circuits, this might have more tracks than Gran Turismo 4, which already had a lot of tracks. Which I mean, yes, might as well have more tracks since one is a game from 2005, or well, 2004 even. And this one is from 2011. But yeah, the thing is that Gran Turismo, basically the main fuck. No, not the main fuck. The main draw of it is the fact that it has so much content in terms of the fact that it has so many cars and so many tracks, right? in that regard, it does very well. But yeah, this game apparently has even more tracks than that. Now if you start comparing it to Gran Turismo 5 or 6, I'm pretty sure it does not have more, but it's fine. Yeah, pretty wild. Like, I'm actually liking this game so much. It's just that it's a shame that it has that weird bug with the progression of career mode. Like, that's so weird. The fact that that happened. At least I hope it doesn't happen again, but we don't have any guarantee of that. It could easily happen again. Wait. Oh, my bad. It's just that it's nighttime. It's very hard for me to see the corners, obviously. Well, that's also another interesting thing. It's one of the few racing games that I feel like it has a nighttime where I cannot actually see shit. Yeah, a lot of other racing games, nighttime is a decoration. You can easily see what it is, but it looks a lot better than the other Need for Speeds. Well, yeah, it's because here it tries to go for realism. Like, these games are meant to be simcade, so they try to make them look very realistic. And you know that it probably would look better if I use the cockpit view. It's just that I am not used to cockpit view, so even though it's the idea, not to mention it's the default camera for this game, but it's like, nah, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm simply not used to it, you know, that's the thing. So yeah, it will have to be the classic chase view, you know. Yeah, that's fine. It's a very well made game. Again, aside from that weird bug that I don't know what the fuck the developers were on about by making something like that happen, but outside of that bug, this game is truly fantastic. It's very well done. And it's interesting to me that they lower the difficulty a lot compared to the previous game. Because here, as I said before, I haven't used a single upgrade in the whole game, and outside of some very specific exceptions, I did not have any trouble at winning any race. So it's interesting.
Feels good to be a winner, doesn't it?
But yeah, pretty cool. I know that for people that might not be very interested in racing, and you look at this and you're like, this shit is lame. Oh shit, Suzuka Circuit, the full version.
This place is a legendary figure eight circuit. It's got very technical corners. Be brave and turn 130R. Keep your foot down and stay in control.
You know that I'm meeting all these tracks for the first time at night time? That's very messed up. Like, it's probably that they were there in some of the previous races that I didn't do. But yeah, like basically Suzuka Circuit, up until now I only did the 2 short versions, but the full version didn't happen until right now. And it has to be on nighttime too. Suzuka Circuit is at least a track that I'm ultra familiarized with. So I don't think that the lack of light should be a problem. Aside from, I guess, measuring corners accurately, but I know exactly what corner is gonna show up next, so I don't think I even need to look at the minimap. The Suzuka Circuit is it's pretty much the most important track in Japan. Well, the same way that Mont Panorama might be the most important track in Australia. So we're going through very... well, I don't know if it's the most popular one in Australia, actually. Because Australia, if I'm not mistaken, has other high-profile tracks. Just that Mount Panorama is a classic. I mean, same in Japan, that you have a lot of other high-profile tracks like the Tsukuba circuit, but yeah, I think that Suzuka is all the way on the top when it comes to importance and popularity. This chicane. Okay, that's fine. It has a good track selection for sure. Like, the tracks here are just very well picked. Oh, and I also got the domination for the best line. That's pretty nice. I think that if I had to mention tracks, I mean, yes, obviously there are still a lot of tracks that are not in the game that are super popular and super important, but, well, a good example being Monaco. It's not a bad thing Monaco is not in the game, because honestly that track is an abomination, but it's one of the most popular tracks in the world. What else could be missing? Let me think. Because I'm thinking exclusively of very high-profile tracks. Which other one? Well, Red Bull Ring is not in the game, but was Red Bull Ring a thing when this game came out? Because with Red Bull Ring, it has an interesting story. And I think that the modern version wasn't a thing until not that long ago. I mean, yeah, more than 10 years, but I'm not sure if when this game came out, Red Bull Ring was already ready. Like, that's another very important track, I guess, that is not in the game. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Red Bull Ring used to be like another track. I mean, well, it was the same track, I guess, but slightly different. And I think at some point it closed, and then it got reopened as Red Bull Ring, and with some modifications. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but like Red Bull Ring, at least as a brand, is something relatively new. Obviously, because it's how Red Bull wasn't really that big of a thing when these tracks were built like 60 years ago, right, or more. Well, Suzuka Circuit in particular, since we're talking about old tracks, this one I think probably has like, I don't know if 100 years, maybe it has 80 or something like that. But it's a very old ass track. If I'm not mistaken, it was founded by the same person that founded Honda. Not sure if Honda or another Japanese car company, but maybe it was Toyota, I'm not sure, one of those. Point is that the same guy that founded that company also founded this track. So you can say that that guy was pretty loaded, indeed, and just owned one of the most important car brands in the world and one of the most important tracks in the world. Pretty sure that guy is now dead, obviously. I mean, we are not immortal, but the point is that it was very important for motorsport history, without a doubt. And the interesting thing about car brands is that they usually have the name of the clan that the founders belong to. Because I mean, Honda is a clan, for example. You know, like, well, used to be, I guess. It's a more accurate thing to say. Like, it was one of the important families in feudal Japan, I think. And well, nowadays, I guess it's still important, but I guess not as a clan, or rather more as a family name, right? And then we have Silverstone, okay.
Not long to the green light. Get ready. Come on, come on.
And I'm noticing that this series usually maintain the position that you had last time. So here I'm always launching at first place, which is pretty nice, of course. But yeah. It's interesting. History in general can be pretty interesting. It also, you know, you might be thinking that, like, learning about some, you know, history that you might not be initially interested in, it's gonna be completely useless for you. I think it lets you understand, like, life more in a lot of cases, right? It's quite interesting. But in my case, basically, learning about Honda and the fact that it was an important clan and the fact that they still have relevance today, one of those things that lets you know that usually if a family lineage was important back then, it most likely is still important today. You know, and that's not just in Japan, it happens everywhere. Well, in fact, here, the people that are in power, the politicians, come from families that have been in power for hundreds of years. Well, saying hundreds is an exaggeration because my country is only like 200 years old, so it's not that old. Well, and you could argue that it's even less than that depending on when you count the start of the country. Because if you count the constitution, then the country is younger than 200 years old. But the point is that for more than 100 years, a lot of the same families that were in power back then are still in power today. Essentially, one of the things, I guess, you can take it kind of like a very pessimistic message, but the point is that usually when a family is powerful, it will be powerful forever. There are obviously, I guess, examples of the opposite, but the thing is that being born into power is so common, unfortunately. Like, meritocracy is not really a thing at all. It's not about how good you can do things a lot of times, but how important your name is, right? And a lot of people like to pretend that's not the case. And sure, someone that is from a non-important family can make it big, yes. But chances are, or rather chances are against you. Like, you're basically swimming against the current. Powerful families just have a kickstart that cannot be compared to anything else. And of course you could argue that they are there precisely because back then there was meritocracy. Because I mean, the guy that founded Honda, that's quite a big thing to do. And you could argue that, well, since his contributions were so good and so important, his lineage deserves being there. But I don't think that's truly true. It's like, what someone deserves should be determined by the well, by the person itself, not by the name that is attached to you. But I don't know, it's just one of those things that even today I think it's a controversial topic, right? Like the whole intergeneration, like karma, if you want to call it that way, right? Like how much do descendants of good people deserve that goodness if they themselves are not good? I don't know. Well, not to mention that in the case of Honda, going back to the same example, maybe in the feudal times the Honda clan wasn't very good. I mean, after all, those were pretty gory times, right? Very bloody. So maybe they weren't particularly good, but they were powerful. So yeah, I don't know. It's a complex, controversial topic. Hard to think about.
Amazing driving out there, man. Amazing.
Because you can simplify some things, but I think that at the end of the day, it's not really something you can really simplify. Okay, I did this, by the way. So, what else? Brands Hatch. How many series? So you have 3 series. Oh, and we have Spa-Francorchamps. This one, like, I think it's the first time that I play Spa in this game.
Today we're on the full Brands Hatch circuit. You know some of the track already. Now you've got the Woodland section to watch too. Stay focused, alright?
Don't worry, I know the full version of Brands Hatch too.
Green light, good luck and be careful out there, man.
I'll try. So pretty nice. I think that that's the whole point of this group of events, right? That it is nighttime. I think that's the whole idea. You're supposed to navigate through the night. I honestly, considering that, as I said, every game that I play that has nighttime, it's usually just a decoration because you can see the track just fine, but it is one of the first ones that I play where nighttime is actually an obstacle, and there are multiple. I don't think that this game is ultra special in that regard, but at least in my specific case, I haven't played that many games like this. But yeah, there are tons. Like, I'm pretty sure that, well, every simulator most likely has nighttime. So, like Assetto Corsa, well, Project Cars, which was made by the same company as this game, like iRacing, Le Mans Ultimate, all those games feature nighttime. Well, those are recent games, but even not so recent games, like R Factor, I guess, the first Automobilist, I'm pretty sure those are all games that also feature this. Though, those games that I mentioned are also not really that close to this game in terms of date of release. They are still more modern. I guess games around this game that feature a nighttime like this were probably like what? Grid Autosport? But did Grid Autosport even have nighttime? I played it very little. Also, sorry, I didn't mean to say Autosport. Autosport is one of the games that released afterwards. I meant to say Grid as a series. And that's another series of racing games I have to play on stream. Because I think I played one of them and it's been so long ago, and I remember playing it for very little, and for the same reason that I played this game very little. It's because I didn't like the fact that it was quite realistic, so I was like, I crash and the race is over. right? But then you know, I got good, and I started to learn that when a corner comes, you're supposed to brake. So nowadays, not only I wouldn't mind to play grid, but I would actually want to play grid. And there are many games in the series, so would be nice. But I think that aside from that, there probably isn't that much from this time, right? I don't know, I will have to investigate that. It's fine. You're gonna tap out? Alright, have a good night, Drano. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks a lot also for telling me how to solve this garbage of the automatic translation. Very appreciated. Yeah, have a nice one. Wait, you say that you finished the webpage, right? Guess like, since I was so flabbergasted with the translation, even though I read it, I didn't pay that much attention. So hey, if you did that, congrats on finishing the webpage. Good shit. So have a good one. But in the meantime, I'll navigate the night. Oh, you did? Yeah, okay, well, good stuff, dude. I'm proud. I like when you're able to see something come to its end. I mean something that you made, obviously. So yeah, good shit. But yeah, have a good night. I guess I personally will have a good night here in the game. There seems like there are many more nights to go. Oh yeah, that's also what you say, starting another project. Is it a secret? Or will we know about it? It's whatever it is. I'm looking forward to see what you can do. Well, as always, projects are something that are always nice to see coming to fruition, right? It's pretty nice. Regardless, you know that there is the dev channel anytime you will want to share anything about it, of course. It's there. For that reason, of course. Anyone can share their current projects. It's a lovely thing. And that reminds me that on my project, right now my base is pretty nice, I gotta say. Oh, a multi-world thing, okay, nice. Well, as I said before, I don't think I can help you on that. But hey, well, maybe aside from testing, probably. But hey, have a good luck with that. Hopefully,
Wow, you really showed them out
it
there.
comes
That's
without.
P1, we're the winners.
It comes without many without any problems. Yeah. No, I level up. What did I get? Camouflage vinyls while we're going to war. Oh, and I think that level 20, by the way, is the final level. Well, we're going to Dubai. Nice.
Not long to the green light. Get ready. Come on, come on.
Wait, where are these guys' shadows? I think that you forgot your shadows in the paddock, mister. It's fine.
Green, that's the green light. Push, push, push.
Yeah, this track, that again, I'm pretty sure this track is used in Formula 1. Though, you know that I always confuse this track with Yas Marina. But this track is not Yas Marina, that's a different one. But isn't Yas Marina also in Dubai? I think it is, right? Or at least forward. Well, that's the problem. I always confuse Saudi Arabia with the United Arab Emirates, right? Well, confusing in the sense that I'm not sure which track belongs to which. This one, since it's Dubai, is obviously from the Emirates, but Yas Marina, is it also from the Emirates or is it from Saudi Arabia? I don't think it's from any of the other Gulf countries. It shouldn't be from any of the other Gulf countries as far as I know. But Yas Marina is a cool track. I like it personally. Well, and if I'm not mistaken, Yas Marina is the one that is traditionally used as the final track for Formula One's calendar lately, right? But I hope, by the way, that those guys are doing well. Because you know that there is a conflict going on where they live right now. A conflict that they did not ask for. But it is what it is. It happens. Not sure when when the whole region will be able to find peace. Well, to be fair, I know when they will theoretically find peace, but it's something that I don't think that you should say out loud, at least not on YouTube. There's simply one actor in that zone that is very clearly the issue. But yeah, it's fine. It happens. Well, I mean, that happens to everything, of course. When it comes to wars, there is very clearly always one side that is the culprit. Well, in some cases it's more of a, you know, that multiple sides bring something for the conflict, but usually the one that leads the fire, that's usually one side's fault. I don't think, well, that's something, since I'm not very well versed in history. I wonder if there was a war in more modern times, I guess, that you could say that that the initial spark was caused by both sides. Because usually that's kind of impossible. Like in all ages it most likely was the case, because, you know, a lot of them probably got like went through an agreement that is like, alright, we're gonna go to war in this place at this time of the day. My army is gonna meet your army, see me there. So in those cases you could say that both parties were probably part of the spark, but nowadays it doesn't work that way. Nowadays it always starts with a sneak attack. Well, when I say sneak, I mean that it's an attack that is not previously, you know, announced, right?
The key to Edda is the chicanes.
Oh, so what's this track?
And they've all got a high-speed approach. Your braking has to be perfect. There's no room for mistakes.
Well, it's an Italian track, Autodromo di Pergusa. Alright. I did not know this track, but sure. Looks nice. But then, so we have more than one Italian track here, huh? Monza is not the only one. I was about to say that in modern times, you don't need to say, hey, I'm about to attack. No, you just attack. Of course, there can be, you know, signs that you could guess that someone is gonna attack. But usually you don't see countries announcing, hey, I'm gonna attack you. You better, you know, be prepared. No, you just attack. In fact, usually when an attack is announced, it turns to be a bluff, you know, tends to be something just to scare or try to force the other side to agree on something. But when it comes to, as I said before, igniting the spark, that is done by one side. And the other one simply responds to that, of course. They are not gonna stay still and get fucked. Yeah, at the same time, wars are also very complex, because even if from a more, like, practical standpoint an attack is started by one side, you could also argue that every diplomatic stuff that lead up to that is obviously just as important. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like a fire starts with a little spark, and then obviously the fire gets bigger because of some other things, and you could argue that what happened for the spark to start, you know, happened for different reasons, but that spark is the one that starts the fire. No matter what, it's a spark. Sometimes it's a big one, sometimes it's a small one, but every fire starts with one, no matter what. As I was saying, that spark, when it comes to wars in modern times, is always ignited by one side, not by the two of them at the same time. I think that when it comes to talking about things like are very sensitive, like war, I can only limit myself to talk in metaphors. we cannot really talk very directly. Well, we could. I mean, as long as you keep it respectful, you can do it. But yeah. Not worth risking the channel for something like that, you know? not a video game channel, at least. Especially when I'm playing a fucking racing game. If I was a streamer known for playing, I don't know, Call of Duty campaigns or Battlefield or Medal of Honor, well, sure. Like, that will be a topical thing, but racing games, well, I play more than racing games, but the thing is that nothing really related to war. It's the closest thing are shoot 'em ups. But even in those games, the war aspect is pretty much a joke. It's only there as an excuse to shoot shit up, not really meant to make you think. Also, this is a pretty peculiar track, by the way. A lot of straights and the corners tend to only be chicanes. In fact, I mean, save some very few exceptions, that is the case. Like, almost every corner is a chicane. Like, this one is a chicane. Actually, we can start counting. So, first corner is a chicane. Second one is not. It's actually like a medium speed corner, I guess. Then the third one is another chicane. Well, the game doesn't count this as a corner, but this is a corner. It's a very fast, wide corner, but yeah, it's a corner. So yeah, technically that is not a chicane. But then the next one is another chicane, and the one right afterwards is another chicane. And not to mention that these are also fast chicanes. They are not the type of chicanes where you need to rake a shit ton. So yeah, so far that's like what, 4 chicanes? And then the next one, it's a 5th one. And I'm pretty sure there is another one before the end. But then you have this corner that, again, the game doesn't consider it a corner, but it is. So yeah, 6 chicanes, that's quite a lot. Like, there are more chicanes than normal corners. And if you count the corners as the game counts them, there are 3 times as many chicanes as there are normal corners. Pretty wild. Oh, and this one is a double, like it's 2 chicanes in reality, so that's 7 chicanes too, damn. I guess if you're a chicane fan, you're gonna love this track.
We won! Good job, man.
I mean, I don't mind them, not like an ultra fan, but I guess it's cool. I mean, it's something different, you know? Alright, so we got that, nice. And what about this? Because this is a Spa-Francorchamps, but it seems like there's only one race. Well, I mean, that's better, I guess, but yeah. We're going to Spa, full version.
Okay, you'll never drive a more fearsome turn than Eau Rouge, and Blanchimont isn't friendlier. Stay alert, stay fast, and we'll get you on the podium.
This guy is mentioning Eau Rouge, which is the first chicane in the track, the one that goes up. Yeah, that's a very fucked up corner indeed. Now the question is, this is still the old version of Spa, right? Like, it's not the modern one. I guess the only way to really see it is to get to the end, but I think this uses the same version of Spa as the first Need for Speed Shift game had, and that one is still the old version. Had a different chicane at the end, but we will see. Maybe it is the new one. Just that the fact that the track also starts there instead of starting before the hairpin makes me think that it's still the old version. Not like it changes much, really. Like 90% of the track is exactly the same. So. Right side, well, I mean, I know Spa by memory pretty much, but aside from that, I don't think that this is a track that is really an issue when it's nighttime. You can still see quite a lot. And it's also a very wide track in general, so you don't really have to worry too much of being like, oh shit, I'm about to step on the grass or whatever. Nah, it's fine. Just be careful. You're gonna be okay. So these guys are going quite fast. Seems that I'm struggling a lot to get them. No, this is actually modern Spa. Interesting. Yeah, this is the modern chicane. Alright. So they actually updated it. Like, they didn't just recycle it from the previous game. That's pretty cool. Nice. This game keeps surprising me positively more and more. Hey, this is modern Spa. That's so cool. They still use this. Well, I guess that's not something about being modern or classic, but yeah, in this case they are using the start before our rush instead of before the hairpin. I'm usually used to the start before the hairpin, but it's whatever, you know. It's still the same track. Also, you know what? While I was looking for the solution of this problem that I had with the career events being logged, I saw some people saying that the AI in this game is somehow aggressive. How can you look at the AI in this game and say that it's aggressive? And I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. Like, how is the AI aggressive? Like, the AI, if anything, is scared shitless of you. It's like a little rabbit. You know that rabbits, no matter how much you try to domesticate them, they are still super scared of big things, as it is to be expected since they are natural prey. Well, that's exactly how the AI feels. They feel like a natural prey that is constantly fearing for its life. So how could anyone call the AI in this game aggressive? Like, if anything, the AI on the previous game was aggressive, gave no shits about you. But the AI here is constantly trying to avoid you and constantly giving you space. So yeah, I don't know what you were smoking. Maybe this is the only racing game you play, that's possible. It's always a possibility. Hey, come on, bro. It's certainly not aggressive. Oh, and also by trying to find the solution to that issue, you know, the amount of messages, like, this is something that it's crazy, but in multiple different places, I saw one message that basically goes along the line of, well, have you tried deleting the save and generating it again? To what I can only answer to myself, like, why don't you try deleting yourself and try if you get generated again? Because honestly, you didn't get generated very bright. Like, yeah, like basically you're telling someone, well, just play the game again, lose all your progress, it's shit. Yeah, amazing solution. Well, I guess, you know, when you have a little bruise on your arm, might as well cut it off. I mean, at least that way there will no longer be a bruise on your arm. Yeah, amazing solution. You know, in those cases, I would prefer if you didn't say nothing, right? If you didn't say anything, if you just remain with your mouth shut, that would be preferable. Because honestly, telling someone, well, just play the whole game again, bro. No. I rather see no answer. I rather be disappointed that there is no answer than having to read that and be like, wow, now I am angry. Like, before I was hopeless because I couldn't find a solution, but now on top of being hopeless, I'm also angry. So hey, good show, at least I feel less hopeless because I need to to give more space to anger. So nice, thank you for that. But man, some people I really don't understand why they cannot think twice. Or maybe they think twice and their brain is just not good enough to tell them no, dude. It's probably better you don't say anything. Like, just keep that to yourself, right? Maybe their brain cannot do that, like it's not capable of that. You're only suggesting that to find out the flaw in their logic? Of course. Yeah, clearly. I'm just interested in that and not in seeing them disappear forever, obviously. Clearly. Man.
Feels winner, doesn't it?
Now, the weird thing is that the wiki is the only one that mentioned this Dr. Pepper shit. Well, it's not the only one, but the thing is that no one mentioned this as a solution, except for Google's AI, by the way. Google's AI mentioned it as a possible solution. I'm like, that's such a shitty solution. But it turns out that there's no other solution. Like, there is no elegant solution to this problem. Like, yeah, maybe with Cheat Engine you can do it, but Cheat Engine is like opening a whole can of worms. Like, you're gonna take longer to figure out how to do it on Cheat Engine than just doing this. So it's not worth it. Also, by the way, I think that this event will normally be locked, but since everything is unlocked because of that Dr. Pepper shit, it's now unlocked. But I think that normally you're supposed to beat every previous event. Maybe I'm wrong, but... So what's this? World Tour for 5 stages. Okay, sure. So it seems that today will be a very shitty 3 day.
Don't let the views distract you. Monte Grande's narrow streets make for tricky turns. Don't get caught sleeping by the chicanes and hairpins. Stay focused.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you say when you say don't let the distract you. I don't know what you meant. What should not distract me? Like the ass of the racing queens, or were you talking about something else? That's not something that could distract me while the race is happening, unless you have a very vivid memory, and yeah, that could be an issue. Yeah, no, the one thing of this track, I'll tell you what the issue is. The issue of this track is that it has a very long straight, that if you fuck it up because you slightly did something wrong, like, I don't know, drifted a little bit more than you should have, you're dead. That's the only problem of this track, and it's less than a problem and more of something you gotta be careful. Then I was about to say, wait, did I suddenly get into Monaco? No, this is not Monaco. But this... Wait, that is exactly the same as Monaco's corner. And the tunnel and everything. What's going on here? Or did they actually do Monaco and they didn't have the rights for it, so they call it something else? It even has a hairpin here, though I don't think it's the same. Well, maybe they also didn't do it exactly the same so they don't get sued. Not to mention that this is in France, and even though technically Monaco is not in France, it might as well be in France. It's one of those little weird territories that is technically independent, but it might as well be part of France. So, you know, I'm wondering if this was meant to be Monaco. Like, even this hill climb here, it was probably meant to be Monaco and they simply didn't have the rights. I mean, unless I'm blind, this is not called Côte d'Azur. So, yeah, it's called something Riviera. Unless it's a real place that is also extremely similar to Monaco, but a lot of things are similar. This hairpin, like basically this part is identical to Monaco. Like a slow hairpin into another slow corner, into another slow corner that goes into a tunnel that leads into a chicane. Like, this is Monaco. So I actually wonder if it's really... it was meant to be that and they couldn't get the rights. Because if that's the case, then I have to take back what I said about Monaco not being in the game. It is, just with another name. Him. That's crazy. I wonder how many tracks are like that. Because for the most part, all of the tracks, like 99% of the tracks in this game are real. Like, you know, Spa-Francorchamps, Monza, Mount Panorama, Silverstone, Brands Hatch, Road America, like all of those tracks I can guarantee with 100% they are real. Or Laguna Seca, like multiple. I could name all of them if I remember them, and all of them are real. But this one feels like it was meant to be and they were not allowed. I just have that feeling. Otherwise, if this place is also real as it is here with this name, then they just very shamelessly copied Monaco's track. Like, they didn't get inspiration on it, they just straight up copied it. But the thing is that copying a track in real life is not something easy, you know. You don't just copy something, like you... It depends on the geography of the place, on the budget you have. It's not as simple to make a replica of another track in a different place. So something tells me this place is not real, but I don't know. I will have to ask Ian Bell. It's not necessary to go that far, you could just Google the name of this track and that's it. It would be so cool if developers watch people play their games years after it's released, like here, you know? You see, this game, I mean, it's a very modern game, but keep in mind this was released 15 years ago. Not 1 year more, not 1 year less, 15. So yeah, it's a modern game. But it has more than a decade and half of another. You know? That is some time.
We won! Good job, man.
Let's just say that a lot of water under the bridge, you know. But I think that if anything, that just tells you...
Get ready for the green. Keep focused and fight hard.
Like, it's a very pessimistic thing to say, but if anything, that tells you how little video games evolved in these 15 years. This is a game that could very easily have come out today. In fact, there is a game like that. It's called Project Motor Racing, made by the same developers that made this game, or at least the same company, you know? Probably not literally the same team, but the point is that yes, it was made by the same company. And at least by what people that purchase the game say, it's a game that is largely inferior to many games. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But hey, I guess at some point I meant products, like at some point they kinda stop evolving because they kinda reach their peak. And yeah, I think that a game like this is pretty close to that, at least when it comes to Simcade. Obviously, it's not a simulator, but when it comes to simulation, no, there are very clearly like at least more than 10 games that are obviously way better at simulating. In terms of Simcade, it really feels like a very big hike. I will probably still argue that the Gran Turismo games are better, at least from an entertainment standpoint, I guess. But this game also does a lot of things that Gran Turismo does not do. Like, for example, as I say, the night time in this game is very well done. Like, it really feels like you're in nighttime. And it really makes you be on the edge constantly, right? So, I feel like in that regard, it does a lot of things better. Well, not to mention it's a game that has actual damages, unlike Gran Turismo, you know. Not like the damages are extremely well done or anything like that, but yeah. Crashing has its consequences and you have to avoid doing it. While in Gran Turismo, not only it has no consequences, but you're pretty much encouraged to crash. Like to crash against walls, against other opponents, like it's the optimal way to play the game. So I guess it's one of those things I will have to think a little bit deeper. But when it comes to simcades, it's very possible that this one, at least with the ones I played, like, you know, I didn't play all of them and there's still a lot I have to play, like the Grid series, right? But I feel like it really might be close to the peak of simcade. It really might be. That's pretty cool. That's just very nice. And to think that I wasn't looking forward to play this game simply because I wasn't a fan of the first one, but this one, and obviously as long as you forget that it's a Need for Speed game, like it really does what it does very well. But I mean, I guess that's a big part of it, right? At the end of the day, it's supposed to be a Need for Speed game. So as a Need for Speed game, well, yeah, probably you can say that it's not a good Need for Speed game, but I feel like at that point it's simply, you know, it's just brand name. There's nothing about this game that is Need for Speed. And there are many examples like that across, you know, video game history, right? Wait, I'm not sure why the game doesn't consider that to be the best line there. I mean, there is no other best line. Because you wanted me to be closer to the wall. I'm not sure what positive effect that will have. I don't think it will be very positive at all. Careful. But now I'm actually having double thoughts about not going for 100%. I might actually go for 100%, but it's just that I'm still not sure what 100% means. Because if 100% means dominating every track, I'm obviously not gonna do that. But then again, like, it doesn't have to be specifically 100%. Like, it can just be like win every event and that's it. Well, saying that's it is kinda simplifying it a lot.
Not long with the green light. Get ready.
The point is that shouldn't care too much about the specifics, right? If you set it as the objective to win every event, then you don't need any percentage. So pretty wild that this is still the only track I managed to fully dominate in the game. Because it is. It is the only one. guess I should do very well on this track no matter what. I guess I'm just a natural. I mean, you can mostly see that by how extremely far the second place is. So you know that despite not wearing the coat that I was wearing yesterday, I still feel a little bit of heat right now. I feel like after the race is over I should open the window, even though that's probably not gonna be that much fresh air, but I think that it's a better idea than having the temperature that I'm having right now. I will say it's quite hot right now. Or well, not hot, but it's just annoying, you know? I will say that's the weather, annoying. I also seen, well, looking for the error that I had, I see that some people somehow apparently have the physics to be very floaty. I have no clue what that means. I wonder if I even have that issue. And maybe the reason why I'm winning so much is because my physics are floaty and superior to the AI. I mean, I don't even know what that means. What will the physics being floaty even imply? Maybe the car just flies? Or what? Wouldn't that make it easier? I also like how someone described the night races being like a horror movie. They kinda are, like especially if someone is approaching from behind, or when you're about to go in a corner and you know you can barely see the corner and it meets you sooner than you expected. It can be like that. Oh, there's someone that is gonna be lapped right now. What happened to this guy? Did you crash? But he probably had an accident and is trying to recover now. Yeah. Wouldn't this be like my first lap guy in this playthrough? Well, technically not, because of that 8-shaped track, but I don't think that counts. That wasn't really a real race. I think that this guy will barely avoid getting lapped. He will avoid getting lapped. Or will you? No, you avoided it, then by so little.
Epic drive, man. That's how you get the job done.
That guy almost got lapped. It's fine. I didn't really need you. But it would have been funny. Then we're going to Miami. Well, this one was one of the hard tracks, right? I mean, not as hard as Shanghai, but wasn't particularly easy. It wasn't this particular variant the one that took me a lot of tries to win. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, in fact this variant was one of the ones that I performed the best on, so most likely gonna happen here too. Nothing to fear. At the same time, here starting at first place really makes the race quite trivial, because for the most part the opponents don't really seem to stand a chance to properly overtake you. Well, or even, it's not just about overtaking, it's the fact that they cannot even get close, you know? It's about that more than anything. Oh, I forgot to open the window, fuck. Should I do it in this trade? I shouldn't, but... Alright, I did, and I didn't crash, somehow. Good stuff. I do wonder in what order I'm gonna do the next events, because I mean, after being done with the GT3 category, according to the way the progression works, you should go for, or rather you can go for GT1, which is the last thing to do in the game. So that's something, but like, should I do that right away, or should I leave that for the very end? I don't know. Not sure. What did I crash with that? I crashed with the nothingness. So pretty sure that there are 2 more races in this particular series, right? I think there probably are. The only 2 corners that I didn't dominate were the last 2. Don't think it matters much, but I mean, I guess that is something that if you are pretty far ahead, it's a nice thing to pay attention to. It's a nice side objective. It just really sucks the way the corner mastering even works, because it really feels like it makes no sense. Okay. Thankfully something like that does not matter whatsoever when you're so far ahead, of course. Well, I dominated that last one, so only the second to last one was not dominated.
Feels good to be a winner, doesn't it?
Sometimes feels a little bit repetitive to be a winner, I guess. Suffering from... Oh, Shanghai, okay, see, that's the thing.
Hold your position off the line, don't let anyone pass. I'll call the green.
Well, see, the game hurt me. They were like, oh, you're tired of winning? Well, check this shit out, bitch. The Shanghai track. With the two gigantic bumps it has, I'm most likely gonna hit one of them. Like, be sure that there's most likely gonna be one bump that is gonna cause me to crash. I don't know in what lap, I don't know which one of the two, but just expect to see a bump killing me here. It's the most likely scenario. I used the brakes there though, them. Even using the brakes that still dealt damage. Really? Why though? I guess I need to brake more. How about the second one? Yeah. That second one also didn't go well. And the problem is that there is 5 laps of this. That's quite a bit. So basically you essentially have to deal with 10 bumps in total. That ain't good. Yeah, I mentioned it before, and I mention it as many times as it's necessary. This is the worst track in the game. It really is. Oh, I lost my rear wing, nice. Well, there goes part of my top speed, I guess. Not sure if this should be a restart, because I think that is an important damage. You know? I think it probably is. Not to mention that I keep accumulating damage. Yeah, on top of that, that final bump is like a double bump. So they're very messed up no matter what. Looks a little bit weird to see this car without a rear wing. Feels like it got a haircut, and the haircut didn't go very well. Well, except the fact that it's supposed to be on the rear, so wouldn't be the perfect reference to talk about it as a haircut, I guess. Dominated that corner. Well, if I follow the line of the CPU, the thing is that I can most likely dominate the corner and also dominate the best line as well. Yeah, the best line I got it, and it's all thanks to the fact that I perfectly follow this guy. It's a shame that on the final corner he kinda fucked up, so it didn't count as a domination. It would be pretty wild to dominate this track, honestly. Yeah, that final corner does look hard to to dominate, so not sure if it's happening. Maybe. I also probably shouldn't have this guy stay ahead for too long, as there's this lap and only one more remaining. So not much more time to finally do an overtake, you know? And I'm very tempted to overtake here, honestly. I will. Like, fuck the corner domination. Get dominated instead. Mr. Now second place. If you want to make sure that he remains second place, don't mess up the bumps. Yeah, I guess losing the rear wing doesn't really affect the driving that much. It's kinda like the same thing. Well, not the same thing visually, but gameplay wise it certainly is. Like, this car does not feel any different to drive here than if it had the rear wing. So will I get this corner now? Probably no. It's worth a try. No. Well, that's a shame, because if I would have gotten that, it would have been... Ah, fuck, I forgot. It's fine, don't worry. It would have been full domination. At least I win, that's what matters.
Good job, man. Nice drive.
Yeah, this track fucking sucks, dude. It unfortunately really sucks. Alright. Oh wait, that was the final one? I thought there were 5. Or maybe there were 5? Yeah, there were 5. So which one did I forget about? I guess I'm a moron, and that's it. It's not more complex than that. So here we have the GT3 Championship.
GT3 is gonna get tougher. Patrick Soderland is in there and about to mix it up. Win this event, and his BMW Z4 goes into your garage.
Okay, so for what I understand, the audios and the videos are also remembered. Like, that's how far it goes, like the progression of the career. Like, it remembers everything, pretty much.
Hey, Soderland's good, no doubt. You just gotta be better, alright? Go get it.
Like, it's just the fact that the events are locked, but that's it. Every single other part of the progression is perfectly remembered.
That's a green light, go, go, go.
So, well, that's good news, obviously, but it's so weird. I don't think I've seen a bug like this before. Like, it's either full save corruption and you lose everything, or it works, but like this shit of working kinda but not really makes no sense. But at least it's a good thing that I found a solution, even though it wasn't extremely elegant. But it works. That's what matters. It just works. So who is supposed to be the guy here that is the main objective, and the guy with the car that apparently I'll unlock if I win? I'm assuming the guy that is in first place, right? But what car does he have? I think I heard him say a BMW, right? Is it? Doesn't really look like a BMW from here, but it's a little bit far. Probably is. still a little bit too far to see the logo. I was trying to see the logo so much I didn't look what was ahead of me. Oh, well, there he goes. I guess now we're not gonna be seeing them bowling. You got a strike. Nice. Fuck, well, sorry. Didn't mean to do that, but... I mean... I was a little bit distracted by your logo. And now the problem is that I won't know which one it is. But it's fine. I mean, the logo didn't look like BMW. Maybe I didn't really look at it from too close. It looked like Alfa Romeo. Also, by the way, I reached the maximum level. As you can see there, there is 0 to nets because it's the maximum. It's level 20. That also, by the way, means that it's like hundreds of times easier to reach max level in this game than in Shift 1. In Shift 1, max level was 20, and when I beat the campaign I was at like what, level 25 or something. So not even close, even though it is true that in that game I didn't win as much as in this one, and more importantly I kinda skip a big portion of the game. So, well, in this one I also apparently am not even halfway through when it comes to the total of events, of course. But yeah, it's whatever. You know that taking that corner by drifting like that is not the ideal way, but I feel like it works so well, you know? You can do it very fast, and I mean, as long as you don't lose control, it's fine. There shouldn't be any reason not to do it. I think it's one of those cases where the game gets a little bit picky for no reason. It's, as I say, the fact that the corner mastering mechanic is kinda shit. Thankfully it was 3 laps here, so not a super long race. I do wonder if it's gonna be like the other ones where you start at first place, or if you're gonna still need to overtake.
Absolutely epic drive, man. That's how you get the job done.
Still just find it pretty funny that they use the word epic. Yeah. So the only reward for some reason on the final level is simply getting 500,000. It says rewards at next driver level, nothing, as there is no next level. Oh, Czech Republic? I don't think I ever seen this.
Alright, the falling corners at Brno reward smooth driving. Hit the apexes perfectly and you'll find your overtaking spots. Go get them.
It's a very epic war, I agree. Well, the thing about epic is that it's interesting because epic is a very specific word. Like, epic refers to a very specific type of storytelling. Like, basically, I mean, I'm not sure, I don't remember the exact definition, but basically the telling of an adventure that, you know, goes through like a warrior that goes through adversity and whatever. Like, I will have to look it up on the dictionary, but it's a very specific type of tale, and yet it is, yeah, in the early internet, epic was used as an equivalent for great, right? I mean, it's kind of like what people nowadays say as peak. Peak is also a very specific word. It specifically refers to the highest point of something, specifically mountains. But yeah, nowadays they are used as, you know, something to describe something great. Because it's not even to describe the best thing, like they should use it to describe something that is good. I guess it's kind of like GOAT, right? Like GOAT is supposed to be an acronym that means greatest of all time, but a lot of people just use it to describe someone that is very good or very nice, like my GOAT or whatever. Sometimes they do use it properly, but for the most part they simply use it as a compliment. Hey, that's what happens with language. It kinda degenerates, and ironically degenerate is another very good example. Degenerate originally is supposed to be a word that simply refers to a sexual deviant, and yet it's used for so many other things. On top of that, of course, it's still used for that end, but a lot of other things as well. The language is a very interesting thing. I definitely don't blame people that learn language as a discipline, even their own language, right? Because obviously learning other languages is a different story, but learning your own language, even though you can speak it well, but you learn it from a historical point of view, right? And also in a more detailed way than just to speak it, right? It is interesting. And also the story of insults, right? Like how insults that nowadays are considered normal were kind of offensive back then, right? An idiot, it was supposed to refer to someone with problems, but yeah, not anymore. Now, if anything, it's reversed. Now, calling someone with problems an idiot will be extremely offensive, even though it was the original idea. But yeah, language changes constantly. And even more so now with the internet. The internet has kickstarted everything. Well, kickstarted, that's not the word I'm looking for. It has more like push everything to evolve at an unprecedented pace, like never before. So yeah, pretty interesting. Also, as I said before, this is the first time I see this track. It's a Czech Republic track, so that's pretty cool, pretty nice variety. But yeah, I don't remember seeing it before ever. Well, in fact, you know, Czech Republic is one of those European countries that I know very little of it. Like, I know almost nothing about Czech Republic. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, not like I need to know. But usually a lot of European countries I can more or less point to something that I'm relatively familiar with. But Czech Republic, not really. Well, in fact, I could say that about Hungary. But at least with Hungary, I think that there are some musicians that I can probably remember. Well, maybe not their names, but mostly the compositions, right? And it is not to say that Czech Republic doesn't have achievements or anything like that, but I simply cannot really picture a single Czech Republic thing right now. It's fine. Well, sorry. Technically I can picture something, but I'd rather not mention it. It's better to not mention it. But yeah, I mean, I should investigate, because there's most likely something that I know from there that I simply might not be aware that it's from there, you know?
Wow, you really showed them out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
It's fine. Not a, oh, here it says Mats SPR, you have reached the currently allowed maximum driver level. Any additional SPR will not continue past this threshold. I'm surprised you didn't say that on the previous one, but sure, I guess.
Osher's Leben is smooth and fast. Get into a consistent rhythm from lap to lap, and you'll stay ahead of the pack. Good luck.
I didn't see where this track is from. I'm assuming that for the name is probably American, but maybe not. I don't know. No, it's okay. It says European Championship, so it most likely is not from the USA. Also, it's pretty crazy because that is the name of the full license category, FIA GT3. FIA, by the way, that it's the same company that is in charge of Formula One. Like, it's basically the most powerful motorsport brand in the world. It's the one that handles every important competition. So yeah, like, but basically IMSA, which is also extremely important. Most of the formulas that you know, if not all of them, FIA is extremely important. Also, how is it going, methods? Yeah, I'm doing well. Just basically playing the sequel to one of your childhood games. This game is actually surprising me how good it is. It has so many good things. It's such an insanely good game. It really is. Very positively surprised, but of course surprised nonetheless. So, fun. How is, by the way, your project going? You're basically almost a month away, assuming that that's still the release date. You're a month away from the release. You work very little? Okay. Well, as long as you are comfortable with what you do, because if you rush the game and then you look at it and you are like, but I don't like this, that's probably worse than, you know, than simply taking it easy. But take whatever time might be needed. It's got the best line. Breaking too late in this chicane. I might need to delay it. Yeah, that's fine. In my case, my game is for now. I think I probably will make it to June, but we will see. I mean, what I'll definitely finish in June are the stages. The thing is that I don't know how long the boss is gonna take me to do, and I don't know how long the two people that are gonna test it are gonna take to test it, and until they are both done testing it, I'm not gonna release it. So yeah, it's one of those things that I could delay it as well, though in my case June was mostly an estimation and not really a release date. I basically, at the start I said between June and December, which, well, yeah, that's a very big margin, you know. But yeah, the point is that I should be fine. Hopefully. I will be fine as long as I am fine, of course. I hope I am fine until the game is done at least. Not sure what I will do after the game is done, but to be fair, I also didn't know what I was gonna do after my previous game was done, and I ended up doing fine. Mostly played... well, I wouldn't say mostly, but I did play a lot of an MMO. Before that, I mostly just didn't do much on the times that I used to dedicate to the development of the game. Yeah, I'll find something to do. But one of the things that I did was playing Street Fighter 6, especially on the afternoon of the weekends.
Good job, man. Nice drive.
So yeah, maybe I could do that. I don't know. It's still a long time for that. Oh, this track again. Oh, is it a different one?
We can win this. Come on. I'll call the green.
Oh, I guess it's because it's pure daytime, so it counts as a different one. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same track.
Green, green, green. Good luck.
Here it's pretty clear that it's it's really the peak of the day. The sun, it's probably the midday. The sun is all the way up there. Well, maybe not the midday, maybe a little bit less, but yeah. It's quite bright. Ah, fuck. Ooh, that was so close. I almost destroyed my car right there. Thankfully I didn't. Yeah, keep in mind that this is chicane the track. So yeah, almost every corner is a chicane. Almost without exception. I also gotta be careful not to crash too badly. Well, I dominated those two. I think the last time I did this track, I think those were the only two I didn't dominate, so that's interesting. At least here it's only 3 laps. I guess the game hates it when you drift. Because that one I'm pretty sure it was the whole recommended racing line and it still didn't count as a corner mastering. Huh, they really hit that? Come on. This one you can pretty much do that chicane straight as long as you're careful. Also, an interesting thing is that even if you do have the optimal racing line disabled, a lot of times you can just look at like the darker parts of the track, which are supposed to be the ones that are the most used, and that's essentially a fucking... I completely destroyed my car. Actually, one of my tires is gone right there. Look at that, the front tire is gone. That sucks. I couldn't brake in time for some reason. That was pretty funny though, I must admit. And that's a shame because that was a complete waste of time. Fuck, dude. I guess I was just not paying attention. It's also pretty wild that one of those obstacles like that is so solid. I mean, I guess they are probably made out of concrete, but come on. So it was gonna be something like one of those advertisements that are made out of plastic or whatever. That's the thing about chicanes like that. Oh, what the hell? Chicanes like that can be super dangerous. Indeed. That one, for example, if you are like 1 centimeter off, you are dead. Right away, you're absolutely dead. I dominated 5 corners, so I feel like that's also what made me get distracted. I was looking at the percentage of best line instead of looking at the fucking screen. If I had one of those fancy eye trackers that some streamers had, I probably would have been looking at that percentage, trying to see if that was the right line or not. So yeah, my bad, that is my fault, obviously. Okay. I should be able to dominate this chicane now. I did, nice. I got all the corners, so the thing that will be remaining is having the... Well, why is this considered the best? No, it's not considered the best line. Hey, there are some times that I get cucked by that. Like, even though I'm clearly going through the best line, it doesn't count. Not sure why the game likes doing that. It's not the first time that happens, and that's actually what's gonna cost me getting the best line here, so that sucks. We at least have another attempt, yeah. And this time do not crash against that obstacle if it's possible. Would be better that way. Just do the corner normally. So, which one is the straight where that becomes a problem? I'm not very sure. I think it's after this one. Yeah, definitely after this one. Well, here it's taking it well, so... I'm not sure, maybe it was the previous one. Maybe it was actually the previous one. The one before, like the super fast chicane. I don't know. I unfortunately couldn't get the best line again because of that. I think it would have been a complete domination of the track, of course. Okay. Oh, finally we get the full version of this track.
It looks simple, but Dijon can get tough. Look out for the parabolic on turn 4. Go into a tight plate, then gun it as soon as you see clear air on your exit.
This track, so far we only seen the smaller version, but this one is supposed to be the full version. The difference is that one of the corners, instead of being very similar to the other, okay, very similar to the other ones that is like an S, it goes like a lot further to one of the sides, and it becomes a hairpin at the end. This one. So instead of going straight there, like I pretty much did there, you steer here. And yeah, now this one becomes the big corner of the track. It's pretty much an uphill, huh? Okay. I still think it's pretty cool though. Now this track is probably, of the new track, it's certainly my favorite, I will say. At least, well, it's a new track to this game, but also like new track to me, like of the tracks that I didn't know before. I think this one is my favorite. I just really like it. Will we get the best line for this one at least? I hope, but maybe not. This corner, I gotta admit that it's very tough to take, especially when when the path goes so naturally to where the cones are, kinda becomes a little bit hard to not just hit the cones. Also, that shadow I think was from one of those air balloons in the sky. Nice. But when I say air balloon, I mean a hot air balloon. Technically every balloon is an air balloon. You know, it's not like they are flying with magic. Also, for some reason this is 5 laps. Isn't 5 laps a little bit too much for this track? Oof, I'm glad at least I didn't crash against him. At least this will make the rest of the race a little bit more interesting. I think that the shadow is also surprisingly dynamic, like it doesn't stay in one place. That obviously makes sense from a realistic standpoint, but it's nice that they went far enough to actually include that realism. So despite that accident, I actually got the best line bonus here somehow. That's pretty nice. I like it when that happens. Fortunately, dominating the remaining corners will probably not happen. But that's fine. No drift allowed. You are not allowed to drift to dominate these things. Yeah, at least the way I play this game is basically half of my corners include a drift, pretty much. Alright. Final lap. Not sure if this is the 4th or the 5th race. I think it's the 4th race, isn't it? I really am not sure. We can essentially say that the majority of the stream was GT3. It really was. Even that one wasn't a domination, though here dominating really wouldn't serve any purpose because we are simply like, we don't need experience, we're the highest level possible, so yeah, it will be just more about completion that I'm obviously not gonna bother with because I'm not gonna try 200% every single track, but it just feels good when you see the whole track full of check marks and the line is all green. Looks pretty nice.
Amazing driving out there, man. Amazing.
I think that there are still two more races for GT3. Most likely. Solder in Belgium. Okay.
has it all. Long straights, sweeping corners, crest, hairpins, and lots of chicanes. It's going to be tough, so get ready.
Lots of chicanes, huh? Well, it's the first time I hear all this corner too. And it's another Belgium track. When I say corner, I meant to say track. What am I saying? You know, the first time I hear of this track, and interestingly enough, it's another Belgium track, so... Well, pretty hard to compete with Spa-Francorchamps, so... I guess we have both. This guy overtook me. Now, this chicane here looks a little bit weird in the minimap. But thankfully in the actual race wasn't really that weird. The guy says a lot of chicanes, but in reality there are 3. Compared to that other Italian track where every other corner is a chicane, this is nothing. And a very slight little bump there. This first corner, I would probably say that it's the most complex one. Kind of baits you into thinking it's a slow corner, and it kinda is. It's like it's a double bait. It baits you into thinking it's a slow corner at first, so you brake early, but you realize you don't need to brake that early. But then once you're in the corner, you realize you need to brake a lot. So it's a very weird corner. Dominated that chicane at least. Let's see if we can do the same with this one. No, I guess not. Did dominate that one though. This one, that's so fucked up. The shadow made me think that the asphalt was somewhere else. The shadow actually fucked me over. Nice, pretty cool. Okay, and this chicane is very different from the other ones. Extremely slower at least than the other ones. That sucks. I'm not sure if I can turn around in time here. Well, no, I can't. Well, there is still one more lap after this one, but will I be able to... Yeah, I should be able to overtake him. I mean, these guys are not really trying to go that fast at all. I mean, if it wasn't obvious already. Have been a nice overtake. This last chicane is very hard, though. I think that track design is pretty cool. Like basically every chicane gets harder. Like the first one you can pretty much do it as a straight. The second one requires you to start braking a little bit more, and then the third one is like they were two completely separate corners. So I think that's a pretty cool track design. It gets harder the longer you go on. Pretty nice. I guess that's also another reason why you want to play the most you can of this game, simply because you don't know what tracks you might be missing. And this track hasn't appeared before, and maybe it does appear earlier in an event that I didn't play, but the thing is that it's such a cool track. I think it's worth playing the entirety of the career mode. We will see though. Still have not decided. Well, something that I could do is like play a different game in the middle, just so it doesn't become too repetitive, I guess. Alright, so this is the final race, or is there another one?
Epic drive, man. That's how you get the job done.
I think there is one more, but my memory is not very good. No, that was the last one actually. Nice. Well, there you have that. The GT3 was fully completed. So as you can see, the career completion doesn't really follow how long something takes. It rather like follows how many group of events you have completed. So that should have probably increased the completion by like, I don't know, 15%, but it's not measured like that. So works, if it's like the previous game, it's modifying a car, a normal car, into its fullest extension. Well, they will explain it probably, yeah.
I'm Mad Michael Dare. I've been building crazy Mazda rotaries since I was a teenager. You've done some good work in the modern classes. Now it's time for the Works Championship. This is a whole different world. Every car's been maxed out. My works car is a Mazda FC RX-7 20B turbo-powered beast. It's reinforced, lightweight, wide body kit. It's fully sick. It just oozes style. From what I hear, you're pretty good. Maybe good enough for a seat in a GT1 car. And I ain't gonna make it easy. See you out there, dude. Watch yourself.
For Works, the cars you've bought need to be all they possibly can be. Maxed out, super tuned, and fully converted monsters. Racing here is as intense as it gets, my friend.
Now the question is, because from a purely theoretical standpoint, you shouldn't be able to purchase a car that is Works. Like in theory, you purchase a car and then you fully upgrade it to become Works, but it will be interesting to see if you can actually purchase it. Wait, but these are all Speed Hunters. These are all the DLC ones, so I'm not gonna pick any of them. But yeah, no, like I will have to turn, well, I could turn the McLaren, since it's supposed to be the highest category, though apparently you can also turn category B into a Works car. Which, by the way, the guy said Works, and because of the British accent, it sounded like Wars. Okay, I went to the car lot, so apparently no, but these are Speed Hunters. No, these are Speed Hunters. This one is not. This pro car thing is actually in the game. I could do that. What else is there? A Porsche. Oh, a Radical. That I didn't know that this game had this. Radical is an actual category that is kind of like a mini LMP. But yeah, this is a real life category, so they also have the rights to the radical. That's radical. Get it? Sorry. So I could go for that, or this one. This card will be useful for also another one of the. But then again, they cost so little. I could buy both. I'm surprised that this one is so expensive. Supposed to be B category, has a lot of top speed. I guess it's bad in handling and acceleration. Well, this one is very good, so yeah, I could purchase this radical, I guess. Why not? And even if it doesn't work out, it's like, who cares? I could just, you know, get another one. So let me...
Alright.
I didn't mean to do
Customization is all
that.
about perfecting your car. You can transform your car from a stock showroom model all the way into a fire-breathing track monster. Upgrades are all about finding that perfect balance. You can choose to upgrade your suspension, tires, brakes. You can even swap out your engine. Visual customization lets you design your own look and share your personal style. If you really want to compete with the big boys, you'll want the full works conversion. Install enough upgrades and soon you'll be able to convert your production model into a straight-up race car. Once you start customizing, the possibilities are endless. See what works best for you and have fun.
Get it, see what works best for you. Hold up, I don't want to upgrade this thing. I just pressed the wrong button, but for some reason you can upgrade something that apparently is already fully upgraded. It even says works progress. So why are you allowed to enter this with a car that is apparently not works? But no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted visuals. Like I just wanted to put like one of those custom paints here. Livery, and it has so many liveries, and I'm pretty sure that these are all official liveries from the Radical competition, most likely. Shame that the fucking camera doesn't stop moving, because I would like to see it well. You're not sure? This one looks cool. I like the way that looks. I think I'll pick either that one or either 9 or 8. No, I'll go for 9. I like this one. Alright. So unless you tell me that I can somehow not compete with this, but I'm pretty sure you did tell me that I can compete with this, right? Let's see. Yeah. So that's weird, because it's like you can still turn this into works.
Okay, it's gonna be hard to pass. Make the most out of any chance you get to turn.
Doesn't make much sense.
Elf and Renault. Good luck.
But sure, why not? So yeah, it's not the only Radical though, that guy is also there.
Green, 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 good luck.
Yeah, believe it or not, this car, if I'm not mistaken, it's not a single seat car. Because usually when you look at... Oh, fuck you. Alright, let me redo that.
Get ready for the green. Keep focused and fight hard.
You know, what I was about to say is, normally, when you see a car with this shape, you expect it to be single seat, but I'm pretty sure that here there is enough room for someone else to sit, yeah,
Push, push, push.
essentially. So it's not like a Formula car, or like an LMP. Actually, I'm not sure if LMPs are single seat. I don't think they are. I will have to check, because I wouldn't bet on it, but yeah, I cannot tell if LMPs are single seat. This thing is certainly not single seat. Not an equivalent to what a Formula car would be, for example. I'm pretty sure that that's the whole point of this game. This game, I don't think it has any single seat cars. It's supposed to be more about, you know, the more car-like categories, right? Not saying that Formula cars are not cars, but I think that Formula cars are more like alien ships than cars. These ones, on the other hand, resemble cars a little bit more. Well, the Radical in particular, I guess not. But the point is that it still resembles it more than a Formula car. By the way, here you don't really need to do this championship if you don't want to, if your idea is participating in GT1. Apparently, for what I've seen on the previous stream at least, the condition to unlock the GT1 championship is either winning the GT3 championship or winning the Works championship. Either one, well, works. It's pretty hard to talk about this category and not make puns with it. It's like it's made for puns. Because, by the way, what the fuck does works even mean? Like, I understand that it's trying to like refer to customized cars, but works is not really a word that I would use for that. Like, I think that a better, well, technically, see, here's the thing. This car is not a tuner car. Like, this is like closer to a racing prototype than an actual car that has been tuned. So this one wouldn't really enter the definition of a tuned car. But the point is that I feel like it will be more fitting than calling it works. I mean, then again, I'm an ESL, you know. When it comes to English, like, maybe that is very natural in the in the environment of motorsports to say works to refer to heavily customized cars, but I will just use like tune or I don't know, super tune. But works just doesn't work. And you are very lame, I gotta say. I've been thinking that if my idea is to complete all the events in career mode, I should start alternating right now. Like, for example, do one on drift, do one on some other thing, right? Like, do time attacks, the drag events, like all that shit, instead of going in order like this. It probably will be for the best in terms of variety, and I think I will do it. It's just that, as I say, I still haven't decided if I want to do every single event in the game, but I mean, I do like the game. So I think that's just, like, beating it wouldn't be enough, like, I would want it all. But there's also the Dr. Pepper events that I unlock. Those things I'm not sure what they will be. They probably wouldn't even count towards completion if I have to guess. But you never know. Didn't get the best line bonus there. I think that after I'm done with like these single exhibitions, I want to do one event of each like basically of each one of the major group of events in the game, so that way it doesn't feel like so repetitive to do all of the drift events in one go, for example, right? Because that will feel very repetitive. Also, wait, there's something I just realized. You know that when I won the GT3 thingy, it didn't really make me unlock the car of the guy that told me that that I would unlock. Maybe that's something that got broken because of the Dr. Pepper thing. Because I remember reading that something that it could break career progress, but when I saw that, I thought it would just mean that by having everything unlocked, well, basically you won't be able to unlock it because, like, by yourself, because it's already unlocked. But if it did mean not being able to receive the prizes for beating a full category, that's a little bit lame. Though I'm pretty sure that you can both purchase and do all that shit yourself anyways, but it will still be a little bit lame.
Feels good to be a winner, doesn't it?
So maybe this radical is a little bit of an exaggeration, because I obliterated everyone without without anything they can do about it. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this shit that I'm pretty sure it's just Monaco. Oh, and in nighttime, really? Okay. Interesting choice. This might be a problem. At least, if anything, it's gonna make it interesting.
Green! Nail that first corner, come on!
This car also reminds me of, I think in Drive Club there was a Caterham car that was very similar to this one. It reminds me of that. Not to mention that one was also not single seat, so it was similar in a lot of ways to this one. I'm still surprised that you theoretically can upgrade this car in the first place. As if it wasn't extremely busted as it is, you know? I will say it is quite busted, actually. Well, now it's busted in a different way. Nah, it's fine. The damage is almost non-existent for hits like that. Has to be a lot harder than that. Now here, the guy behind me is another one of these radicals, so... I mean, it would have been nice, considering that they have the rights to the radical, that they will make a whole category based on it. Like, essentially it's radicals racing each other, the same way you have a GT3 and GT1. But no, you don't. It's weird simply because you have the rights to it. You could easily make a competition that says radical whatever, like whatever it's called in real life, I mean. Or maybe it's one of those cases where they have the rights to the car but not the rights to the competition, which will be weird considering that they have the rights for two very important, you know, categories, and both with the FIA name attached to it. That being said, that radical behind me didn't really do very well at all. It's still very far behind me. Oh well. It is what it is. Seems like this car is very, very good. Nice. That's not nice, however. Here I most likely will get the best line bonus I do. I don't think I can dominate the remaining corners though. Didn't even look to be close, but I did get the best line bonus at least. I think that here, differently from the GT3 competition, this one is somehow even more free because there is a way bigger disparity when it comes to cars here. Like all these cars are a lot different to each other than the GT3s could be. I mean, after all, GT3 is an actual real-life competition, so they are obviously bound to be more or less equal, but this works competition is obviously not a thing, so there can be a lot of disparity. So, can I dominate the remaining two corners, I wonder? The second to last one look very hard. The last one should be the same one as the hairpin that I did in this lap, that I also dominated. This one... well, no. If you're gonna do it like that, clearly, no. At least let me see if I can get the final hairpin. No, not that one either. Yeah, at least, well, technically not the two final corners, but two of the final corners I couldn't. Also, I just realized the second place is 20 seconds behind me. Damn, that's rough. For him, of course. Damn, dude. Well, we're gonna go to Mount Panorama at least. At least it's only 3 laps. It's like these guys are not really trying to beat me. At least not trying their best, you know? Certainly doesn't feel like it. I think that as soon as the straights come and you are on the final gear, like this car immediately shows the superiority of its top speed compared to everyone else's. Regardless of the superiority, Mount Panorama is a very hard track to overtake. Well, like, it's hard no matter what. Like, in real life, usually most people try not to overtake in this section because they know that it's kind of a dead sentence, so they usually wait until the long ass straights. Unless you're willing to crash, you don't want to overtake on those other sections. Not at all. I didn't get the 90% barely. Well, that just means that I should be able to get it on the next one, right? Surely. It seems that looking at the best line percentage here, I feel like I missed it for the majority of the track, so I guess the previous lap was actually an exception, and it's a shame because it was so close to 90%, and now I don't think that it will repeat itself, that situation. Also, these 3 corners in a row, I couldn't master them either. Thankfully, I got the clean lap on the previous one, guys. Otherwise that would have completely destroyed any dreams of doing it, but I guess clean lap really at this point it's... Oh, that sucks. Did I lose a tire? I think I did. Not sure which one. Oh, man, that sucks. How did I even hit that? I'm not gonna retry that. But I want to try doing what I say, which is doing the other events. They are basically drift, retro. Well, we'll ignore the Dr. Pepper ones. But yeah, drift, retro, time attack, muscle. Well, and I guess endurance, because this one is a single one that I didn't do. Yeah, we can do that, I guess. Just to see how it is, though. Here I should change the car. Should be the Lotus. That's the one that I use for this one. Though, where is it? It's not here. You're not letting me pick it. So this only shows... Or maybe I'm blind, but I don't see it, no. Unless somehow I lost that car. Will be messed up. Did I? Yeah, I guess I did. I guess the Lotus is not here. So, wait, but it's not the only one that's not here. The McLaren is not here either. And the Corvette is not here either. So, all the cars... Wait, or... Yeah, this is the garage. So all the cars that I unlock through the game are not here. Are only the ones that I purchase and that are DLC. Well, that's pretty awkward. But it seems to be the case. So I guess that's how the Dr. Pepper thing breaks the progress like that. Well, in that case, I don't know, the Stingray could work. I mean, it drifts a lot. Kinda. I guess, I hope. Not really, though. Well, on the right side, most of those cars already, you know, I already use them where it matters, but pretty weird nonetheless. But yeah, this thing should drift, although I think that all cars here drift by default. I don't think it's related to a specific model. Like here, when you enter a drift competition, it's like the tires that you use already make you drift whether you like it or not. So even if I brought the Radical here, it probably will be easy to make it drift. So here I need 2,000 points. That sounds like a lot. But when you consider the fact that it's 3 laps on quite a long track, it shouldn't really be an issue. Ah, fuck. Damn it. So it basically means that all of the... that also explains why when I won that GT3 competition I didn't unlock... fuck me. I didn't unlock any of the... I didn't unlock the car that I should have unlocked, because apparently it's the unlocks that are completely broken in itself. As I said, on the right side I don't need them, but that's such a weird thing to break. I honestly... The inner workings of this game are completely nonsensical. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. Something ain't right in the way that the progress was coded. It's a shame because that Lotus look very good. I mean, if you really want to, you can just purchase that car yourself and customize it to look exactly like that, you know. Shouldn't be a problem. It's still extremely weird the way the progression works. Like, I'm not sure the kind of spaghetti code that is inside the game to make such thing like that. I guess it is what it is. That also means that you do not expect any car from here because you're clearly not gonna get it. And that also means that of the modern muscle cars, like the Corvette that I use, I can no longer use it. I will have to purchase a new one. But yeah, purchasing is not a problem. Like, I have so much money that it's not an issue. Well, also, you know, that's the curious thing. A thing that I saw a lot when I was looking for a fix to the progression was like a lot of cheats that enable you to have like the maximum amount of money, and I'm like, why would you want to do that? As if it wasn't already free to get a lot of money, you know. So even though this is enough to get the point objective, I'm not sure if using this car is the fastest way of doing this. I will say that it isn't. Probably. Most likely it is not. Because I'm thinking that maybe more modern cars will be able to drift a lot better here. In the sense that I'm not sure if drifting better, but they probably will be able to do it faster. Wait, I pop a tire? No way. Wasn't aware that was possible. At least it's over there. So you can pop a tire in these drift events? Holy shit. Alright. That's an interesting thing. That means that you can very easily lose even if it looks that you're gonna win. But in drift events, it's the type of event where that makes the most sense, that a tire will pop. Yeah, you are taking the tires to the limit, though there doesn't seem to be anything in the UI that tells you that. Like, you cannot know what's the current health of your tires, but you can only guess. I guess try not to abuse them too much. That's not saying much. Alright, so here, since the first place is 1,200, the idea is that you will get 400 per lap, which is exactly what you are not getting right now. So that is bad, indeed. Because at this rate you're not gonna get it either. But I'm not sure why I got the other one so well. And not this one. Feels a little bit weird. Oh, I got a shit ton of points there. And I think that it's a little bit misleading, because the game tells you that you are getting points for drift angle, but in reality what makes the points go super fast like that is simply that a drift takes a long time. If you're able to do a long drift, that will give you a shit ton of points, not the angle. Like, the angle I'm pretty sure is completely irrelevant. Simply how long it is. Oh, that sucks. I fucked up. I completely fucked up. I think that already won't be enough to take the first place, unfortunately. We will see though. Too early to say. Well, pretty sure that now it's not early to say. I think that will not be enough. It seemed like it went well though. No, it didn't. No, that won't be enough. Didn't do... I'm not a fan of restarting the drift events, honestly, but yeah, it's also possible that this car might just not be that good for it. It simply doesn't have enough stuff for it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, when I get to the muscle cars, I can probably get the modern Corvette, and maybe that one is better, or maybe no, I don't know. I don't know how that other lap was so magical. Like, what did I do with it that I cannot do here? Well, at least this first lap is very promising, which the previous one was not. That would have been good. It wasn't though. Now I guess I'm also a little bit paranoid of the tires popping, and especially since I have no way of knowing when that's gonna happen. Which also reminds me to wonder if that can happen on a real race, or if it's something exclusive. Well, on a real race you can just lose the tire right away. You don't need to worry about popping it, you just need to worry about getting it completely removed from the car. But I don't know, maybe the same logic for popping the tires exists there. It's a possibility. Alright. That at least it's good enough for the first place. Alright. Yeah, something tells me that you will probably need a better car for some of the later ones. At least we did get one title, so we can do retro then. So for retro I could do this one. No, European. This is not European. But if you go here you could, well, purchase one. But hold up. Can I do the one I have? Here? No. So it has to be European no matter what? Come on. I guess might as well get one. Change car. Well, you will do this and then car load. Him 2 million for the F1, really? That's fucked up. Makes sense, but still fucked up. Well, I think I would probably prefer the BMW if you ask me. Though the Mercedes seems tempting as well. No, I'll get the BMW. I think. Yeah, let's do it like that.
Okay, man, keep focused on the lights.
Though I could also change the paint, because honestly the default paints, especially when everyone else is on a more custom paint, looks pretty lame.
Go, come on, that's the green light.
Well, some of these are all... Oh no, never mind, that's not a default paint. No, here I will have to head to the garage and change the paint. Though, I mean, it's not like I dislike the pure red one, but I can do better than that. Yeah, technically those two ahead of me are with customized paints, it's just that the majority of it just looks red. Oh my bad. Sorry. Excuse me. There are 4 laps in here. This was also one of the tracks in the previous game that I don't think I remember seeing here. That's nice. So, honestly, seeing that McLaren F1 being so expensive is crazy, guys. Like, the GT3, for example, were like, I don't know, 5 times cheaper. No, even more than 5 times. They were like 6 times cheaper. I get that the McLaren F1 is a luxury car and all of that. I mean, I don't expect a GT3 car to be precisely cheap, you know? But according to the game, they are way cheaper than a McLaren F1. Well, that's something that will be worth seeing, how much of that is the case. I mean, to me it's pretty clear that a racing car, no matter the category, will always be more expensive than a car that anyone with enough money can purchase. Because a racing car has a lot of specialized engineering that you're not gonna find anywhere else. Alright, final lap. I have no clue what the best line is considered to be in this shit, but I wouldn't be finding it, that's for sure. Oh, maybe that will be enough. Yeah, it will. Shame that I missed one corner, I
Amazing
guess.
driving out there, man. Amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna change the appearance of this thing though. It just looks way too lame. Well, the next one is in Donington, but hold up. Garage. BMW, yeah, actions, visuals. Oh, you can take a photo, that's pretty cool. Oh, that that one I already like the way it looks, yeah. In fact, I think I remember this livery from some other game, not sure which one, but looks pretty nice. Okay. So, go back to retro, yeah. If it doesn't take long, I can do like one of the time attacks, then probably one of, well, no, that would probably be too much for today actually. That will be a little bit of an exaggeration most likely. Maybe like I could do one of each.
Green light.
I wonder how this car will behave for the drift events. Maybe it will be good. Maybe. Well, the nice thing about these old ass cars is that you can essentially take a lot of these things at full speed. Like, with no issues whatsoever. Like, you just take them at full speed and it works. Just works. And that corner also worked. So if I can do this chicane, I can essentially dominate this track. But this one is a hard chicane, I guess, so... Will it happen? I don't know. Will it? It will, nice. And then with the best line, okay, well... that's the second track I managed to dominate. The first one being the Tokyo street circuit, I guess. Yeah. Donington is the second one. That's nice. I mean, looking at the track like that with all the check marks and the whole thing green just looks very cool to me. This one is 3 laps. Like it's a little bit too much for cars that are as slow as these ones, but I mean, I don't mind. I mean, at least this group of events was simply two standalone races, and that's it. They weren't even a series of races, just two standalone ones. Yeah, aesthetically this car just looks so nice. I remember there being one in Gran Turismo that looks similar to this, but I can't remember what the brand was. Maybe it was a Mercedes, but I don't think it was a Mercedes. But I don't really remember what it was at all. No problem. I mean, I don't really expect to struggle with this early divisions or with anything, to be fair. Yeah. Wait, oh, this is an actual series. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was two individual ones. Well, I guess no. Well, in that case, I might just make this one the final one for today. So otherwise it will be too long. Yeah, I wanted to do one more of maybe another group of events, but it might be a little bit too much, actually. Yeah, probably not a good idea. To mention, this one is 4 laps. 4 laps. It's quite a bit. Ah, fuck. And it's been a while since I got a warning for cutting the track. I do deserve that one. I just realized the Need for Speed logo there on the rear of the car. This race really feels like it's a little bit too long for not much of a reason. It's 4 laps of something that goes 1 minute and 40 seconds per lap. Like it's very long for what's supposed to be more or less like an early race, right? Well, it's not really early, but I mean, the thing is that using slow cars like this makes it feel early by default, you know, regardless of how early it actually is. So this would have been the perfect test to see what like the full pro driving would, well, pro is how it's called right now, but I think the one that comes after pro is elite, and elite basically disables the ABS well, basically every driving aid. I mean, I know that without the ABS I will do the corner slower, but even doing the corner slower, I don't think it will be enough for these guys behind me to be a problem. In fact, I could kinda simulate it right now. Okay, yeah, no. Sure, it will be quite slower in corners actually. Essentially, without the ABS, you either like split your brake, or if you try to brake all the way, forget about steering while braking, which is something that I'm doing a lot, which is natural, I guess, but without the ABS, it's a very big change. So how am I not dominating that corner? What else do you want me to do there? That final chicane is weird, and even weirder that I somehow managed to dominate it at some point, you know? Also, I guess, you know what I could do for this track? Use the inner camera. Yeah, this one even simulates that you have the helmet. Surely this is a good idea. Oh, what the hell? Okay, that is a configuration that I hope you can change. Though I haven't seen it in the options menu, but here the driver, okay, maybe it's because of this specific camera, but here you can see that the driver itself is moving. I mean, it's moving the camera because it's supposedly looking at the corner, right? So it's looking at the corner, but it feels so unnatural for the camera to move like that. It probably wouldn't happen if I use this one instead, because this one is not supposed to be, yeah, this one doesn't happen. This one basically you just look straight no matter what, while the other one you're supposed to be inside of the head of the driver, so he naturally looks around when a corner is about to come. That's pretty interesting, but yeah, believe it or not, this is the intended way of playing the game. This is the default camera you have. So yeah, you are kinda intended to play it like this. Just that yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But considering that these races are being extremely easy, I guess it's a way to give it some challenge. Though, is there another race after this, or is this the last one? Because I don't even remember it being a series, you know? That's the weird thing. Well, apparently it is. What did I enter?
Keep it up.
I have no clue what I entered. I thought it was a singular race. But it isn't, unless it's bugged. It will be funny, because I mean, if there's something that this game is not lacking, it's bugs. Yeah, I don't remember this being a series. I hope it is not bug and that what I'm doing is actually meaningful for the progress, because otherwise that will be a little bit awkward. So this one is Hockenheim. I'm really not familiar with this track at all. Even though it's a popular track, but I haven't really seen it that much in the games I played, so I'm not very confident around it. Yeah, at least for a car as slow as this one, like, using this camera doesn't make that much of a difference. In some corners I hesitate a little bit more, but at this speed it doesn't matter at all. Still not enough to get the best line bonus, but I guess the other thing that you could do if you want to challenge yourself here is trying to play with manual transmission. But yeah, no, that doesn't sound very enticing. Well, not only you can play with manual transmission, but this game also has clutch. So you could play with manual transmission plus clutch. Well, in fact, I don't know if you pick manual transmission if you wouldn't be forced to use the clutch. Maybe no, I don't know. So I guess this camera doesn't look that impressive when it's nighttime because you obviously cannot see shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the insides of the car, well, I think that the cockpit of every car is unique and it's obviously meant to be the cockpit of that car. Like every cockpit is fully modeled for every car, I think. So when you can actually see it, which is what's not happening here, I'm pretty sure it will look pretty nice. We will have to wait until a more sunny day, I guess. That corner is a little bit fucked up. I'm not sure what that sound that I'm hearing is. I mean, probably the car itself, but I'm not sure what part of the car. And no, obviously I'm not talking about the engine. Though it probably might be part of the engine, that little sound that I probably hear. Maybe not, I don't know. That also didn't seem like a very optimal line at all. There was any doubt that using this camera will be an issue. Well, it is not. Okay, well, and though I still don't know if this is the final race, because in the first place was not expecting a series of races, so I don't know if there's gonna be another one, but I hope not. You know, that's it. So wait, hold up. So, okay, the first one was not a series, but the second one was. That's weird. But okay, since that took longer than expected, I'm gonna leave it here. I think that at the start of the next stream, I'm just probably gonna do the work race that I didn't finish in Mont Panorama, and then I think I'm gonna start doing what I did today, alternating between drift, retro, didn't manage to do time attack and muscle, but the idea will be to do that. And I could also sneak in bow drag and legends probably in the midst. But yeah, I do want to beat every event. I now feel motivated, but we will see. So in any case, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.